Hola, and welcome to Lucha de Impacto. Of course, that means Impact Wrestling in Spanish, and as you learn tonight, my perros, a lot. It was like they took everybody from Crash Wrestling, which is Conan's promotion in Mexico, which is creating a big buzz, by the way, for anyone who doesn't watch. Mexican wrestling. Crash is a promotion that's really on fire right now. They just took basically a lot of people from Conan's promotion and shoved them right in Impact's front door. We had 1,000 debuts tonight. Mullins might have alcohol poisoning by playing the deadly game of take a shot for every debut tonight, because by God, we're going to count them every time there's a reference. But kicking off the show, Alberto Del Rio, first Hispanic gentleman of the night, of many, by the way, that was alluded to of that intro right now we were getting to. He's like I want to fight Bobby Lashley, who's not at the show tonight, by the way. But EC3 was like, you're gonna fight me, and then Del Rio was like, I'm not gonna fight you. EC3 was like, you're gonna fight me, cause I'm the one, I'm the chosen one, I'm the guy. And Del Rio's like, you're just the perro, which is the B word. Ooh. He's the bitch of Impact. So they get into it. They get into a bit of a raffle, and then the crowd starts.
Did you call all the fans perros before?
It happens. So they get into a bit of a raffle, and the crowd starts chanting, "Let them fight!" And then we're gonna fight. They're not gonna be the main event, which is something I'm gonna bounce back and forth on, because I feel like once we hit that high point of the show, we kind of took a big dip, and then we went back to halfway of where we were, because we had a big escalator to the top, and then we started just like declining.
Escalator. Back up a little bit,
but we didn't get back to the high point. So yeah, after that, we had Eli Drake and Tyrus job to the new tag team that made their debut. Take a shot for two people, by the way. Laredo Kid, I believe, and Garza Jr., who it looks like, in the words of Mullins, Kalisto with a Burger King helmet.
Yeah, Laredo Kid was basically...
And...
Kalisto with a Burger King crown on his head.
Because of all the spikes.
Garza Jr. was a Mexican young buck.
Yeah. So, they beat... They beat Tyrus and Eli Drake, so there's that.
Okay, and then also before that though, literally, and I think this sums up TNA for the last year.
Oh yeah.
This sums up Impact Wrestling for the last year. They were having a meeting, and the words that came out of Bruce Pritchard's mouth was, "The only thing we know for sure is we don't know."
Because they were talking about the state of the tag titles.
Everything TNA's done in the last year.
It's just a great sum. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad that they don't know. You know what?
They just don't know.
They just don't know. But man, I love Impact, because you never know what you're gonna get. If you're gonna get 100 debuts, if it's gonna be a very Hispanic takeover that Trump wouldn't like tonight. But so yeah. Sad for Tyrus and Eli Drake. Of course, Eli Drake, a big one, who's like, in my opinion, I feel like he could have, already been, up in that area to be world champion, especially now Mike Bennett's gone. Tyrus, of course, he's Tyrus. He's a good gateway for, I think, smaller guys to overcome. On a side note, by the way, no Rockstar Spud and no Aaron Rex for these past 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks, actually. That's kind of a thing that's been going under the radar. I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah, so none of them at all from what I've noticed. Back it up, actually. They threw a little thing with the Hardys where it was basically, I guess, trying to make the Hardys look bad because they beat up a kangaroo, and then they showed basically last week that the K got the belts, and they're going to talk about that in the ending of the show. Yeah. Jerry Borash and Josh Matthews keep on getting
It's
into
just more stuff that complicates an already complicated situation with the whole Decay thing. Like, I couldn't even explain to you what went on in that Decay thing and how they magically have these belts, but it's just...
Yeah. They rescued them from space and
time.
It's one of those things that, again, sums up TNA.
It's time travel or manipulation. Not even time travel. Teleportation, manipulation.
That's what we're going with?
Teleportation.
That's what they called it.
It is teleportation manipulation. That is what we're going to call it. So there's that, yes. So, I'm trying to think. What was the match after this? Was it... Because it wasn't a match, technically, because it was... Brandy Rhodes went out to wrestle a girl named Casey Quinn.
Yeah, Brandy Rhodes went out there to fight Casey Quinn.
Looks just like Mallin's sister, by the way.
Cut the funniest promo I think I've ever seen him cut.
Yeah, he's like, here's $45. It's 25 more than what they're going to pay you. He's still bringing out that next gen title, which I despise, because I don't think he should be doing that.
Yeah, which is a GFW title.
I very despise that fact that he brings that title out, because we don't get to see the Impact title every week. The X Division title is still like, The tag team title is in ruins right now, and the Knockouts title, no one can touch Rosemary. So it's the Impact Grand title is feuding. They're feuding for that title. So, what are you thinking?
What have we seen Jeff Jarrett yet, or even heard of Jeff Jarrett?
No, not yet. But give it time. You know, it's only a matter of time until he's like, hey, I gotta have some fun and get involved. You know, I think that's gotta be the underlying tone here. Right, Mullins? Is that right?
Yeah.
His underlying tones. So yeah, Cody Rhodes gave Casey Quinn, which is Brian's sister over there. Totally not making that up at all from how they look. But he said, here's $45. It's 20 more than what they were gonna pay you. Malin starts dying laughing at the truth of that, probably. And
oh yeah, she told me about it on the phone right after it.
Yeah, Cody says, "Oh, Moose is off in Japan. I am Japan. Isn't that too sweet?" Or no, he said, "Oh, the crowd's being too sweet tonight," or something like that. And then he escorted Brandy Rhodes out. During commercial break, Rosemary beat the crap out of Casey Quinn, saying, "Everyone will decay, decay, decay." Look, Rosemary has to get the most amount of time on television. She's wonderful. She's like, she holds together Decay, which is already a team that could hold together themselves, but just with her, like, it's so much more fun, I feel like, because she's just a crazy character that has developed really well. And then in the Knockouts division, she's untouchable. No one can touch her.
It's like Asuka.
Yeah,
but
she's
it's
like the Asuka of TNA.
It's better
to beat her. It's gonna take.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's better.
To come back,
in my opinion too.
Like, I don't think anyone I've looked at the roster that they've had for these knockouts right now.
Yeah.
There's no one that can touch her right now.
No one. And I'm sorry, like, as big of a fan of Sienna as I am, I feel like at this point,
Sienna's just kind of like there.
Yeah, I feel like she can't beat her right now. So, and plus Sienna's got other things going on, because we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
What was the match after this? I feel like there was a match right before the Del Rio EC3 match.
No, there was a segment with Scum.
Yeah, that was when
Was that before or after? I thought it was after the match.
No, that was after that.
Yeah,
that was after that.
I feel like we're missing one match. I feel like we're missing one match, or maybe we're not. Yeah, maybe we're not.
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are.
Yeah, so we're doing good. So we're now at.
There was a lot more segments than matches tonight,
which is a good thing in my opinion. That's a phenomenal thing in my opinion. So with the 9 o'clock timestamp, EC3 Del Rio, they're fighting it out. We know who wins. Because let's be real, and I've said this before multiple times. If Cody Rhodes would say, "Hey, I'm gonna be the Impact Wrestling guy. I'm gonna be the Impact Wrestling champion. I'm gonna be above everyone else," Cody would be champion way before.
100%.
Immediately. They would
yeah.
give him the title
yeah.
immediately.
Jeff Jarrett would have pulled that trigger. Jeff Jarrett would have pulled that trigger before Del Rio.
Like the first week.
Yeah, of him back. But Cody's, I guess he sees the bigger picture that, hey, I can make hundreds of more dollars and thousands of more dollars and like so much more money working in Japan and all these places together, you know, collectively, instead of just being one place only.
Yeah, because he's actually doing something that TNA hasn't done in a while, where he's allowed to go to a company like ROH, because I don't believe they allow people to go to ROH anymore.
I don't think so. I think every company
they're in such like direct competition, because they're unfortunately TNA's dropped to that level.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone just like banned ROH from like their alliance. It's just like, no, you're not allowed to be with us anymore.
Yeah. But so yeah,
because the thing is ROH has that very lucrative thing with New Japan.
So Del Rio's the guy.
America has.
Del Rio's the guy. Excuse me. Del Rio's the guy going forth. No, I don't know. I was holding in that burp actually for a while. Yeah, I was holding that in. So Del Rio going forth to face Lashley once again. Not a bad thing at all. Especially because Lashley is such a great champion. And Del Rio is such a great talker. You know, and he'd be such a great guy to be that ace, I'll say, the figurehead, the guy for Impact Wrestling going into this new era. You know what I mean? This new era, whatever we're going to call it. Because EC3 is still like the John Cena of Impact. He really turned it around in a time where it was really, really bad.
And he made it like watchable. Like he was what made it watchable before the Hardys started doing all their stuff.
Yeah. So he's really taking the back seat. Well, yeah, but I mean, Eli Drake's only been here like a year. Maybe?
But yeah, and even then, like when you think TNA, you really don't like other than like a few things. Eli Drake's just kind of been like been like in that same level from the start. Like
yeah, he got that one push, and that was it.
Kind of like ascended immediately. Like he was like they strapped a rocket on his ass and he flew to the moon.
Yeah. So Reno Scum had their little promo. I'm gonna say this. We had a buddy of ours who was hyping up Reno Scum to be like the Young Bucks coming to TNA. It was like the biggest deal ever. Type. I'm just not crazy about Reno Scum.
They look like a very backyard company-esque tag team.
That's just my opinion. They're okay. I mean, I haven't seen much of them, and like from what I saw the previous week of their debut, I just wasn't crazy about them beating Decay.
Like almost anything of them other than like I saw obviously last week, I saw this week, and I've seen them in TEW.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen them in TEW.
Yeah, it's Adam Thorstow and Luster the Legend.
Luster the Legend. But
with that name, you'd think he would be good.
So yeah, we'll have to give it a while. You know, it'll either be one of those things where it's like I'll really like it in the end, or I'll just be like, it happened, but you know. So hopefully
now I can move on and forget it ever happened.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be, you know, they last a while and they like something really good comes out of this, in my opinion. The same ththing with Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid. I'll say Laredo Kid. I think there's something about him that I think will click with the fans. They'll see that resemblance to good old Callisto. So hopefully.
Also Tigre Uno, because the fans really grew for Tigre Uno.
And get ready to take a shot, Mullins. Or you already took the shot, because that's why you have alcohol poisoning, and we got to rush you to the hospital right after this recording. But thank you for your devotion to the recording. Suicide came back. Suicide. Not Manic. Suicide. Thank you. Whoever did this. Thank you. Nah,
yeah, because the thing is, we got so worried because we're really pumping up the M on his chest.
Yeah.
They ran like a vignette or something right before
like he was out. Batman or something. So, but I think Suicide will be the main reason why Laredo Kid might not be as well in the side that he's in the tag division. That Laredo Kid won't be as, you know, heavily pushed in the X division. Over. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say over, but I was gonna say heavily pushed in the X division in particular. I guess we'll say this real quick, so close your ears, close your ear holes, if you don't like hearing things like this, all this kayfabe stuff. Caleb Conley is the guy underneath the mask, right now, at least. So,
I don't like it.
I don't
like it because
as a guy who likes Caleb Conley and his
they had him
character.
for a while, but they had so many chances to put him over, and he has the look. I believe he has an interesting look.
Yeah.
They didn't need to throw a gimmick on him that they've had for years. They had for years before they even signed him.
Here's a fun Caleb Conley story for everybody. The time that I met Caleb Conley when I was doing a report in high school on pro wrestling injuries, I actually approached him because I was like, oh, this guy looks like he'll be something. Like, he's a credible guy. You know, he didn't look like just a random indie wrestler, you know, that was there just because he wanted to have a match and get more experience. Like, this was a guy who presented himself like, hey, I'm gonna be somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna be, you know, somewhere, even if I'm, you know, wrestling in this little area right now. Right across from me is the Hardy Boys. Right across from me is that X Division champ at the time, Trevor Lee, who's still X Division champ now, by the way. But that was back when he lost it. But whatever. And then right across from me is Jim Cornette. So, and a whole lot of other legends and whatnot. But he was very presented, and like, he's going to make something of himself. So I just think, you know, having him underneath the suicide mask, maybe not my route to go, especially because I think he could be something like Caleb Conley and Eli Drake. I think that could be something to really help him.
We've seen that with the suicide gimmick, they don't care about how big the person can be outside the mask, because we all know who was under the mask last time.
I mean,
you all might know him as T.J. Perkins now.
Well, even though they ran that Austin Aries thing too, and Kazarian also.
Yeah, Kazarian, Perkins, Daniel.
It used to be just literally whoever they flew in at the time.
Yeah, so I really hope that.
And there was some Spanish guy.
I really hope this isn't a permanent suicide, especially in the way that it was presented previously with T.J. Perkins and how he would take the mask off and it'd be like, you know, like,
know what I feel about it?
How?
What's his name? Wow, I can't believe I already forgot his name. The Mexican Young Buck.
Garza Jr.
Garza Jr. Put him under the mask.
Yeah. Especially because I love his style. He reminds me of that Andrade Cien Almas from NXT. Like, how he wrestles is very much of like if you combine the Young Bucks and Andrade Cien Almas, which is really interesting and works.
Even like, he has a very good wrestling, like, he has a very good moveset. Like,
yeah,
he was very, like, that was actually very interesting. It was the first time I had seen either of those guys wrestle, like, actually, like, on like TV rather than like just like real quick like highlights and whatnot. And I really enjoyed his moveset.
Yeah, I was a bigger fan of Garza Jr.'s moveset, but I do like the character of Laredo Kid. So I
feel like that it's a very marketable thing.
Like we said, he can be something.
Yeah.
It comes down to you. It's like why Vince has been big on having all these masked guys, because at the end of the day, you can market that mask and you can sell that mask.
Definitely.
And people will be in the stands.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Who's got the Tigre Uno mask in this call? Is it you, Malin?
Zach. No, it's Zach.
Oh, Zach does. I thought you got one too, but yeah.
I'm
a sucker for masks. If anybody wants to send us some merch, please send me a Pentagon Junior mask ASAP. I'm still wanting to get one. Haven't had one yet.
I just want any mask.
I really want the Pentagon Junior one in particular, but that's besides the point.
I like how me and you go like the Spanish route mask, and then you just hear most. I want a Mankind mask.
Yeah. So yeah, we had Suicide in his in-ring return. Yeah. Taking on Braxton Sutter and Alley to come over the fact that Maria does not exist anymore. Neither does Mike Bennett. Andrew Everett, who's kind of just in that weird floater area right now, and Trevor Lee, who is X Division champ. In a place where I really thought Suicide should have won, Trevor Lee wins.
I felt Trevor Lee should have won.
I felt like where you had Decay get slaughtered by Reno Scum last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believed it was Decay versus Reno Scum in like the first
match.
DCC. Oh, DCC. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
DCC.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
yeah, it was
I was gonna say
DCC,
I don't
'cause then they
remember
all-
DCC.
Then they all turned on each other.
Yeah, I don't remember I don't remember DCC this week at all. So I was thinking they were already, ripped apart from each other,
Yeah, they
especially the way
broke
they were
up.
alluding James Storm and Eddie Edwards and Moose going to Pro Wrestling Noah, because that was another thing that talked about, briefly mentioned, not too crazily important, but yeah. So sorry about that one. It was DCC getting ripped apart by Reno Scum, which I still didn't like though, because DCC was profitable in my opinion with their gimmick. I don't know if it's because I'm a tech guy and the whole anonymous thing is interesting, whatever. But I feel like if there was a time for that in-ring return / debut of someone to win a match, this was the match. I feel like Suicide should have won it, because Suicide's a great character. He's very profitable, and I think the
This
crowd
could have
reacts
been like
really well to him.
Or at least
So.
if he looked strong and we had a cheap win, like if he,
Yeah.
but they didn't really like that. He got the cheap win because of obviously with
Laurel's
the whole,
out there drunk and
you're-
everything.
Yeah, Laurel's out there with the greatest gimmick you could give somebody.
Yeah, she's out
Being
there.
drunk.
She's drunk. She's sad about the wedding still. It's been like 3
She's
weeks.
smashing cake in her mouth. She's
Yeah,
smashing cake
red
with a fat
velvet
kid at
cake.
lunch.
So yeah, that happens. Trevor Lee wins. Everybody leaves. Braxton Sutter and Allie's still there. They're like, "What just happened?" And then Sienna comes out, and I swear she flips off the crowd. Like it looked like she flipped off the crowd, but
Yeah,
maybe she did.
She does the Stone Cold, and she flipped the crowd off.
Well, she normally does the little finger thing where she's like the queen or whatever, but it looks like in a way she flipped them off instead. But
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like saying that you and him will pay, meaning that somebody will come. She loves a good love story, whatever. Because I don't know, but meaning that somebody will be debuting in the near future alongside Sienna to wrestle and go against Allie and Braxton Sutter. So I guess they're going to be branching off from the X Division to work on this feud also. So I really like how they're branching off into multiple sectors of who's feuding with who and how much importance each thing gets. So there's that.
I don't to say something quickly. I don't like Sienna by herself.
I'm kind of in the middle on this, because I do see your point, most definitely. I just think I was so hurt when she dropped the belt to Allie just because they wanted to see Maria and Gail Kim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like the thing is like she was they had
She
her
was
built
really good.
so well.
yeah, she
And
was
then all of
built
a
really
sudden the
well.
wheels just went off because they decided, hey, we're gonna let a storyline overshadow everything.
Yep. So there's that. On to the main event of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So, Bruce Pritchard comes out. He's like, titles are won in a wrestling ring, not in space and time. Decay comes out. We won the titles and won them back. And
They're
then
threatening him. He's
Bruce
getting real
Pritchard's
scared.
like, let me tell you something. In 3 weeks, right? In 3 weeks, or 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks. I believe it was.
No, it was in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks' time, I think it was 3. I'm gonna say 3, but correct me if I'm wrong, or we'll go back over that. But I believe it was 3 weeks. Might be.
It was
2.
something weird. I don't know why they didn't just say next week.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be next week, but whatever. In a couple weeks, we're gonna see 4 tag teams fight for the chance to become the World Tag Team Champions. Seems really weird that it's 4 teams going at it in a couple weeks when they could just do it next week and just kickstart it. Boom, you know what I mean? With all 4, especially since we had 4 teams in the ring come the end of it. So Reno Scum comes out. If there was anybody in the crowd who was going crazy for him, it was probably our friend Franklin, because they were trying to like get they were trying to get everybody to go or something like that, and it just wasn't like a sharp reaction.
No one was doing it. They
Yeah.
literally looked like hillbillies.
It wasn't a sharp reaction.
They were wearing like jean shorts and tank tops.
So out comes Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid to save the day, and Laredo Kid says something in Spanish. Garza Jr. is like, you probably didn't understand that. That means we're going to be the Championes of the World Tag Team Division. And they start fighting because it's near the end of the show. We got like 3 minutes left. Of course, everybody needs to fight. And as Decay destroys everybody, thank God, thank you for letting Decay not get freaking ripped apart by Reno Scum, or Laredo Kid and Garza Jr. But they did get ripped apart by LAX in the form of Conan. Alright? This is where alcohol poisoning really is hitting Mullins and we need to rush him to the hospital fast. Conan, Hernandez, go out there.
No, Conan Homicide. No, it was.
Oh,
Conan
no.
Homicide.
Homicide.
Mike Drazatic.
Yeah, like. Well, it was those two in particular that were out there, and then the other three come in from like the other side and start attacking, and like they lay a flag over Decay. So yeah, oh well, Rosemary got involved too because there's a girl with LAX.
Yeah, there's a girl.
So
who
she actually
beat.
She looks very intimidating. She looks very intimidating. She beat Rosemary.
Yeah, like
up.
she looked like she could kick my ass.
Yeah, she beat up Rosemary. I don't know if she's a credible threat for Rosemary right now. We'll have to see in due time, though.
I feel like she's gonna be more of a manager, much like what they did with Rosemary at first.
Yeah, so she might transition because we, as we said before, we didn't know about the transition of Rosemary, who was gonna be but it's been phenomenal. So hopefully this girl will have a phenomenal transition.
And we need more women
also.
in this women's division that can be credible.
More credible, yeah. Because I feel like we do have a good women's division, but we just need the credibility of them right now.
We have a lot of that are really just really. It's becoming what the Divas division was for a while, where it was just a bunch of really pretty faces.
Yeah. So let's get into finalies and everything. So of course, yeah, we got LAX with Conan and Homicide, right? Hernandez, Homicide.
It was Homicide.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Hernandez
Homicide.
for some reason is not there.
Yeah.
He may show up. I don't know.
We had two other guys there.
It was.
I can't remember the names. I don't know if they said
I forget the one guy's name, but it was Mike Drastic and.
Yeah.
I forget the other guy's
It might have been
name.
briefly mentioned on commentary during this, but I don't remember it happening actually. So all you gotta know is that LAX is back.
It's a tag team from CZW.
Oh yeah, that's what they said. Is it EFYMOB or something like that?
Yeah, it's EYFMOB or something like that.
Yeah. So,
what the heck?
So yeah, LAX is back in the shape of 5-man faction right now. They ended the show. Should that have ended the show?
Yes.
Because I don't know.
You had nothing else on this show that could have really ended it.
Del Rio and EC3 could have been like Del Rio and EC3 could have been a much better match to end the show. But I feel like how the match was, it shouldn't have ended the show. So I guess But if Del Rio and EC3 would have been better, I feel like they could have ended it. Because I think we had that weird point where it was like we hit all the way up, started to go down a little bit, and we started going back up, but we didn't have enough time to go all the way up to where we hit that big climax with these two guys. But we just got a little bit of taste of these two wrestling. Hopefully, there's way more to come, because I think this was just a quick, let's see how they work out together in the beginning, because I think we'll see great things from these two guys in particular. I think, bold prediction, even if Lashley doesn't drop the belt to Del Rio and EC3, I think that's money right there. I think just the similarities in characters and how they present themselves is very great. But in my opinion, flip the switch. You got to make EC3 heel, because I think Del Rio is so over right now. So
yeah, I think right now, like, the whole place was chanting like "C" every time, so there's no way you can turn him heel right now.
Yeah.
That'd be a stupid move right now.
So
especially because you could play off the fact that EC3 feels betrayed because the fact that he was always the guy that everyone cheered for, and then people just kind of I guess people moved on.
So this has been C versus 3. In the words of EC3 in the beginning of the show. A very long Impact review, a 30-minute Impact review. Damn.
Wow.
A lot to happen tonight, I'll say that. So, Malin,
Oh,
Give us a
hold on,
number.
you still breathing?
We
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
rush
still
him. We
breathing.
gotta rush him back to the hospital. I told him we were gonna have a quick review. I didn't. This is probably one of our longest reviews. So, all right. Of course, we had a lot talked about with the debuts and stuff like that, and how things are shifting and moving around and going in the right direction. I think we're going in the right direction. I think we're, the first week I was very like, all right, we got a good start. This week I feel very confident that, hey, we're going in the right direction. Maybe a lot of debuts, but how they handled them, I feel like thumbs up. I think we did good.
Yeah. Before I give my number,
yeah.
I just want to say though, I feel like this episode definitely was. I felt like it had a lot of filler to it.
Yeah.
But then I also feel like it was a lot of filler because, like we've been saying, they needed a lot of those guys to debut, and they needed them to debut like now so they can build up these feuds.
Mm-hmm. I just hope next week isn't a more filler-esque episode. So, of course, there is some stuff missing here and there, in terms of like the Davey thing. But of course, they touched on that because Moose is in Japan, Eddie's in Japan, James Storm's in Japan. So it'd be interesting to see how they tie in with all that next week.
And that's
or
another thing.
Couple weeks.
Is how dare you TNA coax a company like Pro Wrestling Noah by sending James Storm there to get the whole fucking board drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Balin, what did you give it?
All right, yeah, so numbers.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8 tonight.
8.
It was pretty decent.
All right, Mullins, we got you on the ventilator. What do you give?
Solid 8.5.
8.5. Yep.
I really enjoyed tonight. Was honestly like a really good episode. It kept you interested.
Yeah.
And it got you more invested in the new era.
Yep.
Because they really put like we've mentioned plenty of times, they really pushed all these new names.
Some people
they really are. It's almost like out with the old and with the new. Here we're gonna shove these guys down your throat because these are gonna be your new guys that you're gonna love every week from TNA.
Some people weren't crazy about the "How I'm Gonna Make Impact Wrestling Great Again" interviews, but I thought some of them were pretty good. So, but
I just feel like they did way too many of them.
Yeah, I feel like there's more to come though, which is the thing. So, what I'm gonna give Impact tonight, I guess I'm gonna give it probably an 8.75. I'm gonna one up it. It was good. It was really good. I don't know if I'd give it a solid 9.
No.
I just, it's just one of those things where in preference, as good as it was, I feel like given the state of how things are with the amount of debuts needed to occur tonight, or the amount of situations that needed to be addressed, whether it was people in Japan, people who, left the company, stuff like that, which in due time, if TNA keeps on with how it's progressing, we might see some solid 9 shows, because everything will be transitioned. We won't have to ever talk about Hardy's, Mike Bennett, American Ellis, Jade, any of that.
Yeah, we won't mention any of the
Galloway,
what they used to be. We'll mention what they could be eventually.
So, I mean, Galloway and Jade are already kind of tucked away. Mike Bennett, I feel like, is completely tucked away also, which is sad to see that those 3 are tucked away. Maria still kind of gets a mention, and Hardy's are still kind of in the back of everyone's head. So, in due time, if TNA can make us slowly forget about them or whatnot, then,
this is where TNA can't dwell on, this is where, like, TNA, because you could tell this week they threw a couple shots at the Hardys.
Yeah, beating up a kangaroo.
This is where they need to kind of be like, you know what? Enough with the petty bullshit. We're not going to mention the Hardys anymore. This is where I really hope that going forward the Hardys aren't mentioned, because the thing is,
let's crisp them more the Hardys.
You will not ever move on from that if you don't choose to. If you choose to sit there and dwell on it and be like, okay, well, you know what? The Hardys left here, but you know what? We're going to run another segment with them just to make them look bad, or just to like soil them a little bit. No, it's not going to work. No one's going to care.
So right,
you got to get over that. You got to get over the fact that they left. It's over. End of it. You just need to put the final nail in the coffin on that one.
And with the nail in the coffin, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you this time next week. Keep it safe.
Everyone, you have a great night. Drive safely.
Woo!
See you next week.